a biblical perspective on life, culture and current events. This is 2020 on Vision.
Our guest in conversation for the next half hour is Ben Evans from Feed the Hungry. Earlier this year, he was in Africa preparing operations for what is coming up later on this week is our Feed the Hunger Day. And, coming up later this week, he's here to speak with us about what's happening on Thursday for the Takeaway Hunger Day, which is featured all around Australia on different media and here especially on Vision. So we welcome into the studio for conversation right now, Ben Evans from Feed the Hungry.
Thank you very much, Tosh. I'm glad to be here. It's been a bit of a whirlwind tour for me all over the country, but very glad to be here today.
Well, we're glad to have you sharing around Australia with our Vision family today. Can you share with us a bit about what's been the preparations for the lead up to and what's going to be happening with Takeaway Hunger Day? Where did this begin?
Yeah, this Thursday, the 21st of August, is our Takeaway Hunger Day. It's a bit like Christmas for me. It's my most exciting day of the year. But these things don't happen overnight. It takes a lot of preparation. So, yes, as you mentioned, I was in Uganda, in Africa, in January, February, capturing some stories that you're about to hear on Thursday, Takeaway Hunger Day. We were actually working in Kiryandongo refugee settlement, where there are many thousands of refugees that Feed the Hungry is supporting. We actually provide meals to these children in school, a very simple thing that we do,
Wow.
But there is so much to be done. It is staggering to think that there's about 1 million refugees in Uganda across the country in many different camps. And we're just focusing on one settlement this week, Kiryandongo.
Where do they come from?
So most of the refugees are actually from the country to its immediate north, which is South Sudan.
Right.
And more recently, the country that it broke away from, South Sudan, is part of Sudan. So both countries have had, depending on how you want to look at it, tribal warfare, one general against another general, the politicians, but they've been experiencing war for over a decade. It's some of the longest battles and war instability in Africa, actually in Sudan and South Sudan. And most of the refugees, about 800,000, are from those two countries, but also other countries to the west and to the east, the Democratic Republic of Congo and other countries. Uganda is seen as a safe place to be. So when there's trouble in your country, people head to Uganda.
Wow, and they know that there's trusted NGOs that are going to be there to do some sort of feeding program, education for the kids.
Yeah, the first thing is there is stability, there is safety. And when at any given moment, robbers, gangsters, armies, one violent group or another can break into your home and into your village. The first thing you're looking for is just somewhere where it's safe to be, and that's what Uganda offers. Uganda's not a wealthy country, but they have stability, they have peace. They've had their troubles in the past, but right now they're in a period of stability, and so they open their doors, they welcome the refugees into their country and say, look, you can be here, you can be safe here. The problem is they don't have resources, so they're relying on other NGOs, non-government organizations like Feed the Hungry, another word for a charity, to come in and help. And so the Kiryandongo refugee settlement that we work with, the government established schools in these camps, recognizing it seems hard to understand, but 85% of the refugees that come across the border into Uganda are women and children under 15.
Wow.
So what are you going to do with children? Obviously, they understand that a routine and structure is really important for children. So schools is a very vital part of looking after these children. I've got 3 children. They're adults now, I guess. The youngest is 19. But even as a parent in my own environment, I know that my children are going to play up and act up when they're out of routine. And so just by missing their nap and all those little things as a 5-year-old, they will play up, they will act up. So, when you're in shopping centres, I don't get angry at parents who are struggling with their kids. I remember what those days were like, and I just know this poor child is out of routine. And so what we do in Uganda is actually build routine, and I love the simplicity. We are providing meals to children every day in school on a reliable basis, and we're building that routine back into their life. We're building stability back in their life.
Well, I just want to take my hat off to you, mate. That's an amazing work that you guys are doing. They're just just taking on a challenge as vast as that, but just jumping in and saying we can do something. So tell us about the Takeaway Hunger Day that's coming up soon.
Yeah, so from sun up to sundown, really all around Australia, on the Vision network of stations all around Australia, but actually other Christian stations as well, all around Australia are coming together to help us take away hunger. And the simple idea that a donation of $6 will actually help feed this child, not just for a day, but for an entire month. And these meals are provided in school so they can get an education because they're refugees, but they've arrived with really whatever they could carry. And their journey can be days and weeks to arrive there. So they've arrived with nothing. So what we do as a charity, as a Christian charity, is we provide these meals to the children in the school environment. We're actually, in the Kiryandongo refugee settlement, the only organisation that's providing meals every day to these children. So they're actually relying on us.
That's amazing, man. And so you're really sustaining not just their little bodies, but also their education going forward so they can concentrate while at school.
Yeah, I love it because $6 provides meals for a whole month. But because we do it in school, we're actually unlocking a future for them. We're providing hot meals so that they can study, they can get good grades, they can get a good education. And if they get that good education with the good grades, it means they can get a good job. And with a good job, they can get a good future. So for us, we see an opportunity to feed their bodies.
Yeah.
We can feed their souls. And as a Christian organization, we want to share the gospel with them. We want to remind them that God actually does love them. These children don't know where their next meal's coming from. So they actually pray genuinely out the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. This day, give me my daily bread. And what we are doing on Takeaway Hunger Day, very simply, we're answering those prayers. So I'm asking our community, our listeners, our friends on Vision Network to answer those prayers, get involved in Takeaway Hunger Day.
And it's really easy to get involved. I mean, you can just simply go to vision.org.au and follow the prompts, and you can donate right on the Vision website.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
That's pretty amazing that it's so simple and so accessible and so available. What would you say to people here in Australia that hear the sound of this a million refugees and feeding the children so that they at least get to eat daily? What would you say to them when we hear these sensational stories that sound like they might be out of a movie or something? What's the plight like on the ground for these kids?
Yeah, these children are desperate. I see children who will often break off a branch of a tree and just chew on it, gnaw on it, just because they want something for their belly to gnaw on. They don't have enough food to eat. They will go days without eating. And so, for us, the meal seems like pretty bland, but for them, it is sweet, it is tasty, it's delicious. It is a highlight of their day. They're being fed, they're being nourished, and they know that people, they will never meet them, but people around the world, here in Australia, are actually helping them get a better life. And so I just want to say thank you for everyone who's heard our stories. We'll hear some amazing stories on Take Hunger Day, but thank you for responding because it's your acts of kindness that are actually reminding the world that God loves them and is interested in their plight.
Mate, when I hear this, what I hear is a group of people who are, using even the food as a tool to shepherd them into a destiny of hope because you can keep their bodies alive. But as we all have heard the stories before, sometimes these kids just cycle out of an institution and they're unfortunately kicked to the curb because they don't fit inside the age brackets anymore. But you guys are keeping them involved in the schooling. And tell us about some of the knock-on effects that you've seen with that, being able to keep the kids with their schooling the way through.
Yeah, as I said, 85% are children and women. There's this idea that far too many of the refugees are child-headed homes where they have no adult supervision. So every day you are making that decision, should I go to school and help build my future, or should I go out and look for food for today? I know if I was in that situation, I'd be choosing my belly every day. Gosh. But when we provide meals in a school, the children don't have to choose. They can actually get both. They can get a food for today and a future for tomorrow.
You're messing me up here, Ben. You're messing me up. And I tell you, the story's already touching people's hearts. We've just got a note came in that someone just gave to feed 20 kids, mate.
Oh, thank you
glory
so much.
to God. What do you say to people who are donating?
I want to say thank you. A bishop from Kenya said, this is a funny thing, but that there is no phrase in English language that means more than thank you. That's an insufficiency of our language. Maybe we have some poets that can differ. But he would say, the best thing I can say is thank you very much. I've met children like Isaac who really don't have anyone else to rely on, but because of your acts of kindness, we're actually making a difference. 1 million people in Uganda seems too big, and don't worry about that. Don't focus on that. I'm asking, what can you do today? I'm asking, can you help feed children like my friend Isaac? And maybe Isaac and a few friends. $6 will feed Isaac for an entire month. Amazing. It's not hard. It's easy. Get on board. Visit the website right now.
For those who are listening across Australia, maybe you've got a friend. What would you say to our Vision family who have friends who don't know about the day?
It is such a simple and fulfilling thing. One of our taglines is a full life feels good. We want to feed their body, feed their soul, and we want to feed their spirit. It feels good for them. But you know what? When you help someone, that feels good for you as well. And I'm at an age where Christmas, it's not about receiving, it's about giving. And I'm asking your help today. Help give these children a full life through your support on Takeaway Hunger Day.
All across Australia on 2020, our guest for the last half hour has been Ben Evans from Feed the Hungry. We want to thank you, Ben, for sharing your heart with us today, mate.
My pleasure. I appreciate the work of Vision because really, if it wasn't for you, I'd have to door knock. So thank you for magnifying the voice. That's my role. I'm a voice for the hungry.
Oh, you're a legend, mate, and we love you here. And we just want to say, if you want to donate to Feed the Hungry and to the Takeaway Hunger Day, please just drop in at vision.org.au on our website, and you can be a part of Takeaway Hunger Day.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.